Okay. All right. Room on the Broom by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler. And today our learning objective is I can retell the events of a story in order using the words first, next, then, and last. Room on the Broom by Julia Donaldson, illustrated by Axel Scheffler. So Julia Donaldson wrote the words in the story, and then Axel Scheffler illustrated it. That means he drew the pictures. So, before we read, is this a fiction story or nonfiction?
Nonfiction.
You sure? Remember, a nonfiction story gives us information. Is this story giving us information?
It's a made-up story.
Yes, it's a made-up story. And
animals can't be on the broom.
Right. So this is fiction or fantasy, right? Because it couldn't happen. This couldn't happen in real life, could it? All right. So as I read today, we're going to stop and retell the story of what happened in order. Okay. All right. The witch had a cat and a hat that was black, and long ginger hair and a braid down her back. How the cat purred and how the witch grinned, and as they sat on their broomstick and flew through the wind. Whoosh. But how the witch wailed and how the cat spat when the wind blew so wildly it blew off the hat. Whoosh. There's her hat. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the hat, but no hat could be found. Who found the hat?
The dog.
The dog. Then out of the bushes on thundering paws, there bounded a dog with the hat in his jaws. He dropped it politely, then eagerly said, as the witch pulled the hat firmly down on her head, I am a dog as keen as can be. Is there room on the broom for a dog like me? Yes, cried the witch, and the dog clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. See, that word whoosh, everybody say whoosh. That means they're flying. That means they're flying. Whoosh, right here.
For me, I see you're still at the front of the book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It might be your internet, Aubrey. Your internet must be really slow today. All right, now the dog is on the broom.
Now I can see it.
So first, let's stop. First, what happened?
Her hat blew off.
Her hat blew off. It was the witch and the cat on there first. And the wind blew her hat off. And then, what happened?
The dog fell. Her bow fell off. No, the dog cat.
The dog found the hat. And he said, is there room on the broom for a dog like me? And then he jumped on the broom. Over the fields and the forest they flew. The dog wagged his tail and the stormy wind blew.
It blew off her bow.
The witch laughed out loud, laughed like a witch. And held on to her hat. But away blew the bow from her braid. Just like that. Just like that.
Well,
down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the bow, but no bow could be found. Then out from a tree with an ear-splitting shriek. Can y'all shriek? Shriek.
no.
There flopped a green bird with the bow in her beak. She dropped it politely and bent her head low, then said, as the witch tied her braid in the bow, I am a bird, as green as can be. Is there room on the broom for a bird like me? Yes, cried the witch. So the bird fluttered on. The witch tapped the broomstick and whoosh, they were gone. So who got on the broom after the dog?
Bird. The parrot.
The green bird, yes. Oh no, and then she loses her what?
Magic wand.
Her magic wand. Over the reeds and the rivers they flew. The birds shrieked with glee and the stormy wind blew. They shot through the sky to the back of beyond. The witch clutched her bow, but let go of her wand. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the wand, but no wand could be found. Who's going to find the wand?
The frog.
The frog.
The frog.
Then all of a sudden, from out of a pond, leaped a dripping wet frog with a dripping wet wand. He dropped it politely, then said with a croak, as the witch dried the wand on the fold of her cloak, I am a frog as clean as can be. Is there room on the broom for a frog like me? Yes, said the witch. So the frog bounded on. What did we say yesterday? What does that mean when he bounded on?
He jumped on.
Yeah, he bounced or jumped on. The witch tapped the broomstick and whoosh, they were gone. Over the moors and the mountains they flew. The frog jumped for joy. And what happened after the frog got on?
They cracked the broomstick.
The broomstick. The broom snapped in two. Down fell the cat and the dog and the frog. Down they went tumbling into a bog. The witch's half broomstick flew into a cloud, and the witch heard a roar that was scary and loud. What was that roar that she heard?
A dragon.
The dragon. I am a dragon as mean as can be, and which with French fries tastes delicious to me. So he wanted to eat her with some French fries.
How are you gonna eat French fries when they're so small?
I don't know. That's a good question. No, cried the witch, flying higher and higher. The dragon flew after her, breathing out fire. Help! Cried the witch, flying down to the ground. She looked all around, but no help could be found. The dragon drew near with a glint in his eyes and said, just this once, I'll have witch without fries. So after the dragon tries to eat her, what happens after that?
The animal's gonna come and push the dragon away.
Right. But just as he planned to begin on his feast, from out of a ditch rose the horrible beast. It was tall, dark, and sticky, and feathered and furred. It had 4 frightful heads. It had wings like a bird. And its terrible voice, when it started to speak, was a yowl and a growl and a croak and a shriek. It dripped and it squelched as it strode from the ditch. All right, guys, mute yourself. And it said to the dragon, buzz off, that's my witch. So they were going to save her because the witch saved them, right? The witch let them ride on her broom, so now they're saving her. The dragon drew back and he started to shake. I'm sorry, he spluttered. I made a mistake. It's nice to have met you, but now I must fly. And he spread out his wings and was off through the sky. Then down flew the bird and down jumped the frog. Down climbed the cat. And whew, said the dog. And thank you, oh thank you, the grateful witch cried. Without you, I'd be in that dragon's inside. And look, there's the dragon flying far away. So they ended up scaring him to save the witch.
I love Broom. I love this story.
Then she filled up her cauldron. That's her little cauldron right there, a little pot over the fire. And said with a grin, "Find something, everyone. Throw something in." So the frog found a lily, the cat found a cone, the bird found a twig, and the dog found a bone.
Seriously?
They threw them all in, and the witch stirred them well. And while she was stirring, she muttered a spell. Iggity, ziggity, zaggity, zoom. Can y'all say that? Say iggity,
No.
ziggity, zaggity, zoom. Then out rose a broom, a truly magnificent broom, with seats for the witch and the cat and the dog, a nest for the bird and a pool for the frog. "Yes," cried the witch, and they all clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, whoosh, they were gone. The end. All right, now I'm going to share my Seesaw screen. Because now we are going to retell the story in order. We're going to do it together first. Let me find it. Okay, can y'all see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so on your Seesaw, you have an activity that says Room on the Broom Retell, okay? So you're going to click the green Add Response button. And then it's got everybody from the story, all the characters. So we've got the broom, we've got the witch, and the cat, and the bird, and the dog, and the frog, and the dragon. So your instructions are, and if you forget, you can come up here and click View Instructions. It says, if you want, you can click these 3 little dots and you can change your background. See? Great. If you click these 3 little dots right here and click Background, you can choose a color for your background, or you can make your own background with the pen and the pencil. So I made my background, and then you are going to click the little hand so that you can move the pictures in order. So guess what? You're going to hit the microphone, and you're going to record yourself telling the story, okay? So what happened first? Who was on the broom first? The witch. You would say first the witch and who were on the broom?
Cat.
And the cat were on the broom, flying through the air. And then the wind came along and blew her hat away, right? And then what happened? And then the dog found the hat. And then he said, "Is there room on the broom for me?" So I'm going to put him on the broom because he's next. And then they went whoosh through the air. And then, as they were flying through the air, the witch lost her bow. And who found it?
The bird.
Then the bird found her bow and gave it back to her. And he said, "Is there room on broom for a bird like me?
Mine.
Yes. Is there? And then they went whoosh through the air.
She lost her magic wand.
Next, she lost her magic wand. And who found it in the pond?
The frog.
The frog found it. And then, what happened after they went whoosh through the air? And then what happened?
Her broom snapped.
Her broom snapped in two, and then they all fell down into the swamp. And the witch, what happened next?
The
What does
witch
she-
was getting kicked by the dragon.
Right. She flew into the bog, and she heard a loud roar, and it was a dragon breathing fire. And he said, what did he say he was going to do?
I'd like to eat her with French fries.
He was going to eat her with French fries. But then, did he end up eating her with French fries?
No. Animals scared him away.
The animals came out the swamp and said, "That's my witch." And then he got scared and flew away. Y'all see that?
It's kind of funny how you move it.
Yeah. So this is how you're gonna tell the story to me, okay? You're gonna move the characters around just like they did in the story, okay? And then the witch they all threw things into the cauldron and made a brand new broom, and then last they all went what? Whoosh, whoosh through the sky. The end. And then when you're done, you click the green check to turn it in. Okay?
Okay.